The Princess of Wales, once seen as the smiling face of a modern royal family, suddenly vanished from public life, and the silence spoke louder than any announcement ever could. Kate Middleton, known for her grace, warmth, and calm under pressure, became the center of global concern almost overnight. In a world where the British monarchy walks a careful line between tradition and public expectation, Kate's health crisis changed everything. It wasn't just about one royal. It became a national moment of reckoning. The public asked, what happens when the very symbol of stability is no longer visible? In January 2024, a short and vague statement came from the palace. It said the Princess of Wales had undergone planned abdominal surgery and would be recovering for several months. The wording was cold and clinical, far from the warm and open communication many expected from the royal family. The message said the condition was non-cancerous. But it left more questions than answers. Why was the surgery kept quiet until after it happened? What exactly was the health issue? And why was there no photo, no message from Kate herself, and no public reassurance? As days turned into weeks, the silence grew louder. Kate, usually active and present at royal events, was suddenly nowhere to be seen. She missed Commonwealth Day, Easter celebrations, and even the funeral of King Constantine, a close family friend. People started to notice. Prince William attended events alone, and although he tried to smile for the cameras, the stress on his face was hard to miss. Journalists who usually respected royal privacy began pressing harder for answers. Social media exploded with rumors, and the public grew more anxious. Then came March 22, 2024. In a quiet, unexpected moment, Princess Kate appeared in a personal video message. She was seated on a wooden bench, surrounded by blooming flowers. Her voice was calm, her words direct. She revealed that tests after her surgery had found cancer. She had begun preventive chemotherapy and was focusing on her recovery. It was a rare and emotional moment, one of the most human royal messages in modern history. The public, who had been left in the dark for weeks, finally had answers, but they were heartbreaking ones. What stood out in the message was Kate's vulnerability. She spoke softly, with gratitude for the support she'd received, and made a clear request for privacy, especially for her children. It wasn't a press release. It was a mother and wife speaking honestly during a personal crisis. Behind the scenes, even Prince William was said to be shocked. Reports suggested he had only learned the full diagnosis weeks after the surgery. This raised questions about communication within the palace itself and how such personal and critical news was managed. At the same time, another major announcement had rocked the monarchy. King Charles had been diagnosed with cancer too. For the first time, both the reigning monarch and the future queen consort were battling serious health issues at the same time. It was a historic and deeply human moment. The royal family, so often seen as distant and above everyday struggles, was suddenly experiencing something painfully familiar to millions of families around the world. Kate's public announcement brought a wave of sympathy, but it also exposed the dangers of secrecy. The palace's earlier vague statements and long silence made people feel misled. Was the secrecy meant to protect Kate, or was it a strategic decision to control public reaction? The truth likely lies somewhere in between. But by the time the cancer diagnosis was revealed, the damage had already been done. Public trust had been shaken. Throughout the summer of 2024, Kate disappeared from public view. Her chemotherapy treatments were kept private, with high security and no media access. The royal calendar was cleared of all her duties. Kate stayed home, surrounded by her family, focusing on healing. The treatments were tough. Fatigue, nausea, and noticeable weight loss took a toll. But even in silence, Kate's presence was felt. She reportedly continued reading bedtime stories to her children, and even wrote personal notes to patients going through similar challenges. Prince William took on more royal responsibilities alone. He looked exhausted, often distracted during appearances. The absence of his partner was felt not only by him but by the entire public. People missed Kate's presence, her balance, her calm, her connection to the everyday person. In August, an odd moment shook things up. The palace accidentally released an outdated schedule showing Kate was expected to return to public duties. It was quickly pulled, and officials said it had been a mistake. But the public was confused. Was Kate really returning? Had something changed? Or was this just another communication blunder from a palace struggling to keep control? The error added to the growing feeling of uncertainty. People didn't just want to know how Kate was, They wanted to trust the information they were getting. Then came some hopeful news. In September 2024, the palace confirmed Kate had completed her chemotherapy and was regaining strength. Her first public appearance was a quiet visit to a local hospice. She looked thinner but composed, and the moment was both reassuring and emotional for many. Her return was careful and slow. Short events, brief interactions, always followed by days of rest. The old rhythm of royal life had changed. By January 2025, she was officially in remission, a major milestone. But her appearances remained rare, planned with extreme caution. Behind each outing was a team of doctors, advisors, and staff working to make sure she was ready. In March 2025, she walked into Westminster Abbey for the Commonwealth Day service beside Prince William. It was a powerful image. Graceful, steady, but different. Then in June, she appeared at the Garter Day procession. These moments marked her gradual return but also made it clear. This was not the same Kate. This was someone who had been through a life-changing experience. Then came the Royal Ascot event. The official program listed Kate as one of the guests in the carriage procession, sending royal watchers into a frenzy. But the night before the event, the palace said she would not be attending. The next day, they claimed it was an administrative mistake. She had never planned to go. The confusion sparked another wave of speculation. Was there poor communication between the palace and event planners? Did Kate back out at the last minute? The hashtag "Where is Kate?" trended once again, and conspiracy theories returned with force. These moments highlighted a bigger issue, the growing gap between the public and the palace. When people feel misinformed, they start filling in the blanks themselves. And in the age of social media, those blanks fill up fast. Despite being in remission, Kate's recovery remains ongoing. Observers noticed physical changes: slimmer frame, slower movements, and fewer smiles. Insiders said she still experiences side effects from treatment and often needs rest days after any public appearance. Her calendar has no fixed dates. Each appearance is a decision made day by day, depending on her condition. Many of her long-term projects have been paused. Her early childhood work, once a major focus, is now in the hands of others. Kate's world has narrowed to her most important roles: mother, wife, and someone recovering from a serious illness. Her choice to prioritize health over duty was a turning point for the monarchy. Royal tradition has always been about showing up, no matter what. But Kate made a different choice, one that many found relatable and refreshing. She reminded everyone that being royal doesn't mean being superhuman. Even future queens are allowed to take care of themselves. The effect on the royal family has been significant. Without Kate by his side, Prince William has taken on more responsibility than ever. While still respected, his popularity has slightly dropped. The magic of the royal couple was in their partnership, and without Kate, something feels missing. Other royals, like Queen Camilla and Princess Beatrice, have stepped in to fill the gap. But none have the same public connection. Kate was especially loved by younger people, ages 18 to 35, who saw her as modern and relatable. Since her illness, support for the monarchy among younger audiences has slipped. In countries like Australia and Jamaica, where Republican movements already existed, the handling of this health crisis has only added fuel to the fire. Behind palace walls, the emotional toll has been heavy. Kate's 3 children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, had to adjust to a new reality. Their mother, always present and active, was suddenly fragile and often absent. The palace worked hard to protect their privacy, but the stress at home was real. Prince William took on more than just royal duties. He became the main caregiver, managing school drop-offs, homework, and bedtime stories. At one event, he described 2024 as the hardest year of his life. A rare, honest admission from a royal. Kate's story changed what it means to be a member of the royal family. She broke the mold by stepping back and choosing health over obligation. This could mark a turning point in how the monarchy handles future health crises. It also raises questions about how much the public should know, and how much royals should share. A recent survey showed that over 60% of people wanted more updates during Kate's illness. In a world where people expect openness, the palace's old strategy of silence doesn't work the way it used to. Looking ahead, there are a few possibilities. Kate might fully recover and return to royal life stronger than ever. She might limit her public role, appearing only occasionally. Or she could step back permanently, focusing entirely on her family and health. Each choice comes with its own set of consequences. For her, her family, and the future of the monarchy. One thing is certain. Kate Middleton's health crisis has left a permanent mark on the royal family. Her story is still unfolding, but already, it has shown that even those with crowns and titles are human. They face the same fears, the same heartbreaks, and the same difficult decisions as everyone else. And maybe that's what people needed to see most. Not a perfect royal life, but a real one.